All right, and welcome back to another episode of PlanetGenX, the podcast, episode 26. Have I ever said episodes before?
I'm not sure you have. I didn't realize it was that many though.
Yeah, we're up to 26, man. That's like almost half a year. That is half a year.
I was gonna say.
Holy shit. We're at a half a year, y'all. Woo! And that's my co-host, Brian, and I keep fucking pointing the wrong way. Right there. That's my co-host, Brian. How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? I'm pretty good. How about you?
I am fantastical, as always. So
I'm going to be excellent once we end, because I've got ribs waiting on me from
oh, that sounds good. I wish I could eat that. But I have not eaten yet today either. So, yes, I will be ravenous by the time we get done with this podcast. For sure. Right. For sure. What's going on with you, man?
Not much. Well, I say not much. A bad thing happened. One of my addictions has reared its ugly head. And it's a game. It's a text-based game. It's called Major Mud. It's not great.
Jesus. Holy crap. I hadn't seen you play Major Mud since we worked together in 97.
But good Lord, I got a friend with the server on.
Holy crap.
And I've been spending like the last week just all up in that.
Man. Mind your addictions, bro. Mind your addictions.
I know.
Mud really gets a hold of you, man. You said you had a question for me before we came on.
Now's about the time for that question because I can't remember it.
Okay.
Actually, it will come up normally when we hit our bullet points.
My bad. I'm trying to
get
rid of things.
I was like sitting here trying to think of the question, but now I've got it for when it's appropriate. So good looking out.
So
how about you? What about you?
Well, let's see. I've been pretty busy. I can't think. I'm trying to think of anything spectacular that happened.
Well, we gotta have a kitten update.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say let's just give a kitten update right now. The kittens are 7 weeks old as of yesterday. That was yesterday. We're recording on Friday. Yeah, they're 7 weeks old yesterday. They are full on. I haven't given them a bottle since we did the last podcast. I told you that they had just started eating some food a little bit, and they were 6 weeks old. They about a day later, maybe 2 days. I guess it was about 2 or 3 days later. They both started eating wet cat food from I just take my regular. I have a cat named Gracie, and I just take her food and wet it. And the female took to it right away. Again, she was first to do it, first to hit the water. And then old Boo, he finally figured it out, and he loves to eat. You should see the size of this little kitten, man.
Right.
He's like twice the size she is.
Yeah.
And they've gotten really good. Their diarrhea is finally clearing up, so their turds are getting harder, which is awesome. Yes. Oh my God, dude. I mean, every morning there might still be a surprise in there where they get to, because overnight I keep them in a little kennel.
Yeah.
But during the day, I pretty much let them have a run of the house because they're pretty clean. They go and use their business. But, at night, if they don't hold it long enough, they might leave a surprise, and then they're ready to get out, and they go and step in it and shit.
Yeah.
Not cool. Not cool at all. But, they've gotten to where they can just be kind of like do their own thing. They're little cats at this point. They crawl me like a fucking tree, though, dude. I am mommy daddy. Like, they see me and they're like, they still want the comfort of a mommy, and I'm mommy daddy. So, I'm mommy daddy and my wife's mommy. It's very confusing.
Right.
But dude, my wife loves the animals, man. You know this.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And she always wants the love. Every time we get an animal, it's like, this is my animal. And I'm like, sure, that's fine. You realize you got to take care of it, though. It's not a surprise that all of them end up liking me, or not liking me, just imprinting on me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am the one that ends up feeding them and cleaning up after them. More than anything, I'm cleaning up after them. She might even be feeding them, but they just imprint on me. And so, what can you do, man? I hate it. I always try and tell them, y'all go give your mother love. She needs some love, man. She's the animal lover. I mean, I love animals too, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not that guy. I don't need y'all all up in my grill licking me and telling me how much you love me and shit, and meowing at me and barking at me.
I kind of think there's like a almost Newtonian physics thing at play here, where the person who loves animal is giving the animal too much attention, and so they want to do what you're doing and try to stay out of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So they come to you because
yeah.
you are away from all that's going on,
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy. Yeah, it is. It's pretty messed up how it works out for her.
Right.
But like I said, if she just get up and take care of them and shit, and they learn just based on like, look, this motherfucker's always picking up my poop and hands me meals and shit. I'm just gonna hang out with this dude because this guy's taking care of me. But yeah, they're doing good. She's finally putting on weight, man. I wanted to see her eating more and more, and she is, and because she feels frail at times. I just feel
Right.
like I'm gonna pick her up and throw her like she's so light. Uh, you know, uh, her rib cage just feels really small and delicate in my hand. So I'm glad to see her putting on some weight. But they're doing good. But I gotta find somebody to take them.
Right. Good luck with that.
Yeah, this is gonna suck. I must be standing outside a supermarket. Please take my kittens. Please.
Yeah, it's best when they're kittens, though, right?
Yeah, free to a
When
good
they're
home.
still little.
Yeah, when they're little and cute.
Yes.
Dude, you bring up a good point. I cannot ADHD this one at all.
Mhm.
There'll be no last minute. Let's get it at the last second.
Kittens move.
Yeah.
Cats not so much.
Right. The last second will be these two motherfuckers living in my house, and it'll be 10 years later, and I've still got them.
Right.
Yep. I can see it happening. Anyway, I'm trying to think. Anything else happen spectacular? No, man, I'm just living in kid land right now. Trying to make it.
Right.
Just working. Well, I did write some jokes now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did write some jokes, so I'm really happy about that. I was looking in the books. I always write down like dates and see when I get these ideas. And I had a drought on the last one in March, and the last one was March. So there was a drought before that. I had some, and I had a drought again, and now I had a few that I've just sometimes, man, it's just about writing it down too, because I've had a couple of these in my head for a hot minute now, and I just needed to write them down, and I just hadn't done it, man. ADHD is just such a bitch. Just trying to write shit down, like you know when you need to do it. It's a motherfucker. But yeah. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to work it out. And I really want to do some local open mics around here, and I may just need to conscript you to go with me, man. I need somebody to go with me and one to record it,
right?
And just for the moral support too, man. Because I don't drink, dude, and I guess some of these places are bars or whatever, and I'm just gonna feel like some creepy asshole drinking I won't drink a Diet Coke. I'll drink a regular Coke. But yeah, so I might need to conscript you.
I have a seltzer.
Yeah. But we've been watching that new we've been watching Justified, the regular old Justified from back in the day. And I realized as we were getting the Star Trek ready to watch, which y'all can catch our reaction to that we just finished up. That should be out. By the time you see this, that will already be out. So definitely catch that. And hit the like and subscribe button while you're here, and it's something you want to do. I compel you. You must do it. You need to do it. But yeah, so we're watching the Justified, and saw the start. We were loading up the Star Trek, and I was like, "Oh, dude, there's the new one's out." I think my wife might even mention it too.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we got to figure out. You're off tomorrow. We'll watch this, that, and the other thing. Trying to figure out when we're gonna watch stuff. And we did manage to, because I wanted to squeeze. I thought, can I squeeze in the whole thing before the podcast? No, wasn't happening. But I did squeeze in one episode.
Here is the question I had for you.
Have it.
Is that on FX?
It is on Hulu.
Okay.
So I don't know how that's rolling.
I guess FX probably. I guess it is though.
I know.
Yeah, I think Hulu kind of took over FX because that's where Sunny came from and a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, I do know they have a huge Fox deal, so they're handling a whole ton of Fox stuff. Whether or not it came out on regular TV, I have no idea. It's 4 episodes.
Hulu, I hate you. You know why I hate you? because I pay for your service and you still give me ads.
No shit.
Stop it.
Yeah. This coming from a company that used to be free.
Right, yeah.
Completely free. But anyway, so it's 4 episodes. And first of all, I didn't even know that when we did the podcast last and I was talking about this. So it's just a mini series, which is probably best because this first episode, and it's just the first episode, mind you, I might change my mind, but so far, I'm not feeling it. I'm not liking it. Yeah, and I don't know if it's just, first of all, and I get it, he's a different guy. He's older. He's got a daughter. You know, this is Timothy Oliphant's daughter. You know, is in this playing his daughter. I'm not. I'm just going to allude. I just wanted to say that she's playing his daughter, and that I just don't think he's. It's exactly what I was afraid of, and I don't know if this was his choice or is just made to be the story because I haven't read that book either, and maybe it's more like the book than those stories from the old Justified were more like wherever they ripped those stories from, you know, or they seeded from. So maybe he's playing it more like it's supposed to be played if you get him under it. I don't know, but it's just the same thing I got. He just don't feel like Raylan to me yet. But there's 3 more episodes. Maybe it'll bear out. There was some stuff that did now, but then other stuff you thought, well, he would have it would have gone farther, and it didn't. But that could have just been again more tempered Raylan for all I know.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't know. That may be one thing that's going to be important because, again, I haven't gone past the first season yet. And I really want to keep a lot of things solid in my mind from the first season going into the other seasons.
Yeah.
The first season, it really draws you into what the crux of the story is. And the story is this guy is an officer who has a problem with killing people. Right.
Yeah.
And you get that, and I'm sitting here thinking of some episodes in later seasons, and I'm like, that's still going in that season. Yes. Yeah. And so that's kind of like all of that series, and yeah, I think it's kind of right. We're getting a different series. This guy has lived through all that, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's no longer that guy.
Yeah, he's lived it, but he's not that guy anymore. Which is, I mean, that's fine. Again, I said it's like 10 years later or whatever it is. Dude, I'm not the guy I was 10 years ago, so I get that. But also, too, I am a lot like the guy I was 10 years ago. So I want to see that, and I did say that there's some of that there, and we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But, and maybe I'm just being curmudgeon in my old age, man. Maybe I'm just picky about the shows I like. You know,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, I just expect them to capture lightning in the bottle every time when they redo our shows.
Yeah. Can't happen every time.
Nope, it sure can't.
Is Timothy the only recurring?
So far.
Is he the only one returning?
So far that I know of. Yeah.
Okay. It'd be nice to see some of the other people from the earlier series, just like as a cameo or something.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, Boyd's still alive and Wynn Duffy's still alive.
Right.
So it could happen, and of course his wife. They. Well, I don't want to spoil it, so y'all figure it out.
Yeah, please don't.
It really ain't much of a spoiler, but just she ain't in it. I think everybody knew that because the actress wasn't in it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not a spoiler to say that they just you know the daughter's with him. They sent them off to a vacation somewhere, so she's just hanging with him while they're off on vacation. So that's how they got rid of his wife, ex-wife, or whatever. But yeah, so you do pay for Hulu, you said, so I guess you'll be catching it eventually.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to catch up at some point. But like I said, I really want to. I don't have time to go back and watch all the rest of it before, so I'll have to kind of like intersperse it.
Yeah, and you know what? So far, you don't need none of the original.
Right.
So I may, it seems to stand on its own. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there was a mention of Harlan. I don't know if they're going to end up at Harlan or not. I'll say it's mentioned.
That's possible.
Yeah, but I knew this was supposed to be all Detroit, from what I understood. Yeah. So if they go to Harlan, that'll be a surprise and a welcome one. I wouldn't mind that at all. But TV and stuff. I've been seeing a lot of different stuff that I'm catching. That I'm like, oh wow, maybe that'll lead to something cool, like old TV stuff. Babylon 5 has a animated movie coming out called The Road Home, which has all the original actors coming back, the main original actors coming back to reprise their roles in the voice roles.
In BO,
yeah. So you Babylon 5 fans, which I like Babylon 5, I still have yet to see it all. I was rewatching it a couple of years ago, and I didn't get all the way through it.
I don't know. It's like any space show, man. It's got bits of it that were difficult to deal with, right? Yeah. But parts of it that were like, hey, that's awesome.
Well, for me, Babylon 5 represented, I was huge into computer graphics at the time. That's what I was really hoping that I could sink my teeth into and maybe make a career out of.
Right.
And it was, at the time, for a television show to be doing what it was doing, and it was using software that was accessible to guys like me. And that was a big deal because software back then was ridiculously expensive. Stupid expensive.
The unfortunate thing is that people didn't realize all the times where you didn't realize that it was that type of software. They always focus on the times when you did realize it, right?
Yeah.
Because there were plenty of those scenes, but there were a lot of scenes that were fine, right?
Oh yeah. So for me, I didn't watch the show back in the day. I was a diehard Star Trek fan. I had a couple of buddies that were real big into Babylon 5, and they would talk about it all the time. But I just seemed to never catch what day it was showing here in town. It always came on a night when I was partying, dude. I mean, like Friday night, Saturday night, I wasn't watching TV. If there was something on and I really wanted it bad enough, which was Doctor Who, I was taping it. And chances are I already had the tape already from years prior, so I probably wasn't taping it anymore.
Yeah.
But, for many years, we didn't have DVRs, kids. Back then, we had to put shit on the cassette tapes. Yep. And hope that your timer on the VCR was set right, and you did the program just right, and you held your mouth just right, and everything.
And the tape didn't stick in the VCR.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know
and just
mine,
start eating it.
For it to actually run through the thing, you had to turn the power off, which is kind of dubious too. Yeah, like you had to turn it off, and then would go into the timer mode. It was really crazy. And then when it got to the day, it would just turn on and start working. Kind of cool for back when I got it. Really.
Yeah. Sounds like some of that foreign tech.
Yeah, man. But also, I mentioned that Babylon 5 film, and that's also brought some mention back of the J. Michael Straczynski, who was the creator. He's been trying to get a new show going, off and on for years, and they thought that it was kind of dead, which it is because of the writer's strike right now and the actor strike, but it may not actually be. So hopefully, maybe, it's not impossible that we could see another Babylon 5 live action show one day. But until that happens, to tickle your fancy, you got the animated series and some other news, and you guys are going to be super happy about this, you Bab 5 guys. Finally coming out on Blu-ray. And I know a lot of people, and a friend of mine especially, they've been waiting a long time for that. So much so that Blu-ray is not even a medium anybody cares about anymore.
Right.
So it's funny it
is funny that they would put it on Blu-ray, right?
Yeah, it finally made it right before everybody stops making Blu-rays.
Right.
Yeah, but get it while you can, because it's supposed to have, it's supposed to be remastered, which it's already been remastered in a way. I think it's the one that Amazon's showing. I think. I know I've watched it. But I don't know if they've done more, if they've done more, or they're just using that remaster, if that's what the original intention was, that they knew they were going to put it out on Blu-ray, and they just wanted to put it out on the streaming services first. But all 110 episodes, they do say it's going to be light on content though, like extras and stuff. There'll be a
Right.
few, but and no digital. Absolutely no
Yeah.
digital. Which Warner Brothers is known for usually having the digital copies on there, but none of that. So there you go. I mean, at least you'll
Yeah.
have a supposedly a nice copy of Babylon 5, and that comes out on December 5th.
December 5th.
Yeah. So I doubt I will be owning it, but I'm glad that it's coming out for the people who.
Yeah. Same. I mean, it would be a cool thing to have. Like, obviously, I don't remember Bab 5 that well. I just remember bits and pieces of it. I don't really remember, like, the full story, right?
Yeah.
Just, like, arcs and whatnot, and certain things that were happening in the background. But, yeah, so from that perspective, it would be cool to own. But at the same time, I've got Amazon Prime. Why would I get a Blu-ray?
Right, and it's on there. Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the remasters, and I very seriously doubt they went through and redid it again.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So cool news, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Also funny on a Blu-ray.
It is funny that it's on a Blu-ray this late in the game.
Yeah.
I guess the realm of. I got a bunch of really TV and movie stuff that I saw. I must have been watching a lot of videos. Saw X. Just when you think they can't make another Saw movie, not only just making another Saw with Tobin Bell returning as the dude. Right. So that's pretty cool. I always kind of dug the Saw movies. I like gory stuff. I love horror movies, and gory doesn't bother me because I mean, really, I don't get scared by horror movies. Hasn't happened since I was a wee lad.
I don't know, like it. I will say that the Saw movies are kind of a different direction of horror,
Yes,
right?
No doubt.
It's something that we really didn't see in the 80s or anywhere before. And that was really apparent with the first one because it was a real psychological thriller, but at the same time, it did have these graphic scenes. It did have these shots.
It's very clinical.
It was. The first one to me deserved acclaim. Everything after that, I wasn't that invested in.
Yeah. I'll say this. I've been impressed with how they've managed to pull these sequels out of it and have the stories intertwined. Because I've watched every single one of them, and I think I've seen the 9th one. And so far, I've been like, oh, okay, that's how they got here. Interesting. Because they are really intricately intertwined.
I've noticed that. From like 4 on, I noticed like some of the people that were in multiple ones, right?
Yeah. It's like there's no way they could have known this, like that they were going to 10. There's no way it was pre-thought out that much. And yet they still managed to do what they do with the, the hooks and keeping it intertwined the way they do. This one's supposed to take place between like the first and second movie. So it'll be interesting because they've already had hooks that go in between those movies already from other movies.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, like to build off of that. And if they do it right and it comes off as well as they have done it, then go off the clap because that's a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
Continuity wise and all that jazz. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see. I mean, like for me, I would have to like go back and watch. Like obviously, I haven't seen one in a long time, and it does deserve a rewatch. I'd have to go back and watch like 2, 3, all the rest to figure out what you're talking about with how they're intertwined and some of the stuff I already know about. But yeah,
we watched them about 2 years ago because they were on. It was when HBO Max came out 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was on there. They had, I think, most, if not all of them, most of them. And we just went through and watched everything. That's one thing about the streaming services like Max, man. If you get it and you're like us, and that's just like, you have all the streaming services and you get a new one like that, and you're like, cool, I can watch all these movies. Once you've watched all the movies, they very rarely cycle out shit. Once you've gone through the whole library of, each section, like all of the horror, all of the sci-fi, all that shit.
I was super upset that I couldn't get access to Westworld once I got HBO Max.
Why not? We were watching it on there.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's there.
It's still there?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Still, my wife was watching it within the year.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's recently come down.
Why? That's an
Maybe it wasn't
HBO
performing well. It seems
show.
like a lot of people lost interest in it. Like as it got to these later seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I got bored with it after the first season. The first season I really enjoyed, but
Yeah.
once that, I wasn't with it, man. I thought all the first season made sense. After that, nothing made sense anymore. It's just like y'all are just reaching at this point. It's all reach from here on out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They tied it up at the end. They should have tied it up at the end. That's what they should have done. But they decided to get 4 more seasons out. Is that what it was?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah. Hey, you remember transparent telephones? Did you have one of those? You know, where you could see the
like the the clear plastic telephones.
Yeah, remember in the 80s, everything, like, well, late 80s, would have been the mid 80s, but like late 80s, everything started to be, because we're going into the 90s, right? So to be futuristic looking, they started making everything where you could see the innards of it. Yeah.
Right.
So we've had those telephones, and of course, all of us have had those telephones for years. And it's like, well, how can we make the kids buy these? And it worked too.
They did.
We just make them clear. They can see the insides, and kids will think this old, telephone is cool. They're doing it again. Have you noticed that? I started noticing that a lot of clear, like, controllers and, like they're starting to go back to this retro thing where you're getting like either straight crystal clear or like the blue that you can kind of see through stuff, just different colors, but you can still see through them.
What kind of maniac wants a clear controller?
I don't know. I might want a clear controller. It wouldn't look good.
You're just going to get palm oil all over it. Yeah.
It's going to look terrible after a minute.
Exactly.
But that's one of the things. Of course, now that I think about it, I had that back in 2006 with the controller I bought for my original Xbox. It was white and green, see-through, like plastic. And you could see all the motors on the inside and everything.
Yeah.
So they've still been trying to do it over the years. But yeah, I've just noticed a lot more, like they're trying to make it the new thing. Well, you got a new generation, so.
Yeah. Transparent tech is always cool because you don't have to take it apart to figure out how it works, right?
Right, yeah. It's like prison tech, really, nowadays.
Yeah.
All the stuff they get in prison's all clear.
Yeah.
And most of that stuff, I guess, well, if you wanted to find anything clear. In fact, I think Techmoan did a thing on that. You ever watch Techmoan on YouTube?
No.
He's always doing anything audio related, mainly. But yeah, he was doing, I think he did prison tech one day. Like, they still, because one of the last people that can get a Discman, and it's clear.
Right.
Radio, like an AM FM radio still. Like only things that you can't get anywhere else but only as prison tech is the only way it's still made. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, I just wondered if you'd notice that too.
No, not really. I mean, it sucked having to lose the first remote I ever tried to take apart, right?
Did
that happen to you?
I never took apart a remote. I took apart the TVs, the radios.
Well, the remote was the entryway for me because it was there and I had the tools for it and there were specialized tools. So I knew I was like, okay, I can get this open. I can look at it. I can figure it out. It shouldn't be too hard to put back together.
Well, it's my brother's
Unfortunately, it was cheaply built. So like you take the screws out and everything fell out of it, right?
And then you were fucked, weren't you? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I gotta get it back together. Fortunately for me, my brother was about 7 years older than me. He had been taking apart radios and putting them together and TVs and putting them together. I remember as a little kid going with him to like the drugstore and using a tube tester there at the drugstore where he'd test all his tubes, see if they were all good so he could go back and fix his TV. And that's how he made his money. He still does it to this day. And he's damn good at it, man. I wish I could do like I have a basic understanding of electronics, and I could do some stuff, but I know enough to. I don't want to say be dangerous, but I just know
I would
enough.
say your knowledge is above basic.
It's intermediate, maybe
Yeah.
less than intermediate, above basic.
Yeah, wherever you feel comfortable, but it's definitely not basic. You know
Yeah,
more than like the
yeah,
common person.
yeah. Because I've been trying to glean the knowledge for years, and
Yeah.
just when I do watch basic stuff, I'm going, no, I don't need to learn this stuff. I'm past this.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I would agree with that assessment. Yeah, I just wish I could the way my brother could, because he's really damn good at it. Now, I think in the flip side, back in the day, he might have been. I got him into computers because I had
Right.
built him an old computer and sold it to him back in the day. And I don't know how long he used that thing for. We never really talked about it, but I know he got into computers, and I'm sure he tore it apart just like he tears apart anything, just so he could see how it works and wanted to learn about it.
Hmm.
So, he probably would like to know as much about computers as I do, as much as I want to know about the electronics that he knows about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a law. It's not a dying art. It's the what he does, fixing the type of stuff he does is. But these guys, man, there's YouTube videos all day long. Guys fixing iPhones and USB sticks and you
Well,
name
you
it,
said
man.
he's working with tubes too, right? Does he
But
still do that?
yeah,
Does he work with the old tech?
he works with
Because
all the old stuff.
that's the new capacitors, not new, but that they made in Japan made a big difference. But the earlier capacitors, people still wanted tubes
Yeah,
for like throughput and reliability and all kind of other stuff.
yeah. He still, I
Um,
guess he puts stuff together and still sells it at the flea markets or whatever. Like, I guess he'll find broke stuff at flea markets, turn around and fix it, and then sell it, make a little profit off of it. I don't know.
it kind of feels like, especially in that market, there's room for kind of like reverse tech of like removing these cheap flimsy products with the older products of the past that were better.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of people that like retro stuff.
Yeah.
I'm one of them. Yeah. I mean, hell, I'm retro, so you gotta like the retro stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, wish I could do what he did, man. As much as you say I'm like about intermediate, I wish I could. I don't know how to say that. I just wish I could have like a fraction of what he can do to add to that
Right.
intermediate. I guess is the only way I say it. You remember last week we were talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, and then we were talking about the old Friday the 13th game, and then talking about Dead by Daylight. Well, it's still growing strong.
Mhm.
And I caught some news that Nick Cage is getting a playable character.
I saw that in the notes, and I'm like, how did this take this long to happen, right?
It's so funny, man.
Because if Nick Cage had any interest in this happening, I mean,
Well, I mean, it sounds like they got his voice, and he has to be on board and somewhat.
no, I just mean like this does seem like something up his alley.
Oh,
Just why did
sure,
it take
yeah,
this
he's a complete
long,
nut.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that guy is one. Let's call him eccentric
right.
guy. Yeah, he's
There,
funny, man.
man.
I gotta say I'm interested to play that, but I'm not really a kind of a multiplayer guy, so I don't know if that really appeals to me. The idea of the game did as a Friday the 13th game and could as a Texas Chainsaw game, but as a game like and this is a point you brought up last week, as a game with no franchise attached to it, nah, I'm okay.
I don't know. I guess it's interesting that they get to bring up, the different bad guys, right?
Yeah,
In Dead by Daylight. So
yeah, I mean that's cool. Having Nick Cage in there or whatever. I mean
yeah.
they have seasons like I guess they're like. Is it like a? I know it's not a mobile game, but is it like set up like a mobile game where you're having seasons and shit, and you're?
I honestly don't know. I've never really gotten into it. It's just something that's out there. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah. Um, I had for anybody who's interested that plays PC Builder Simulator 2, they're looking for beta testers. So if you go check out their Discord page, get on their beta tester thing if you're interested in stuff like that. I actually own it, and I signed up, so I haven't played it in a while. I need to go play it. It's been a hot minute.
Well, you got some better simulators you've been playing with, right?
Man, I've been. Well, I haven't been on so much of a quest this week. There would have been more games had they worked. I've been steadily still playing the flight simulator, so that's good that's going still. I think I did get a little Cyberpunk in this week. I got this game, Dead Island 2. Sounded like a real fun game, man, and it just would not fucking work for me. Couldn't get it going. Oh, Jesus, the dog farted.
Dude.
Bro. Y'all, Pepper's right down here on my lap. Let's see if I can show it. Say, hey, Pepper.
Hey, Pepper.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think she's got an upset tummy because she has been farting on me since we've done the Star Trek deal now. And right out of the gate, she farted on me.
Yeah.
Man, dog farts are the worst, bro. Well, no, I take that back. Women farts are the worst. Women can clear a room, bro. Woo!
I'd have to say shower farts are the worst, right?
Well, yeah. What is it about humidity that makes a fart really stink? I know, baby. It is something about humidity that really just makes them, like they get a
heft to them, right?
Like a musk, dude. Like the fart's already got a stank. Now you're gonna give it a little bit of a musk to that stank. Yeah,
a little something.
Glad I'm not the only one that noticed that.
Yeah.
Oh man, one thing I was so excited about. I've been waiting for this, but now I'm not even sure it's even needed because I noticed when I watch our videos that the closed captions seem to auto-generate fine. Like it doesn't give us a bunch of weird words and shit like that. I mean, it might occasionally, but I didn't really see any that was that bad. So I've been waiting for Davinci 18.5 to come out because it's supposed to have that auto subtitle generator. The AI is supposed to have a little AI up in there. So yeah, it's supposed to be able to generate subtitles for you. And I was like,
this is so cool to me. I watch a lot of stuff with subtitles, and it annoys me to no end because for me, I watch it just for comprehension. You know, sometimes people talk low, the line goes fast, whatever. Yeah. But there are people who cannot hear and rely on what is being read at the bottom to understand everything, right? Yeah. And so anytime there's a problem with that, I'm super critical of it because I'm like, hey, you know, these people, they're not going to understand what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's always been a thought of mine is like, at some point, somebody's going to have to make an AI that's really complex, that understands dialects and all this other stuff. It's going to be able to look at your mouth and say, that's this word, that's this word.
Dude, and I don't know how good this is yet. It remains to be seen. But the one thing that can really help a YouTube channel out is multilingual support. Like, if you can just get subtitles that are in different languages, you're doing way better than most because you're now opening yourself up to the world, not just your country. Yeah. So these it would be, and if you could do that with like also hire somebody, like say you got a big channel and you actually hire somebody to speak to dub you, that's even better. Like, and there are people that are doing that. That's like not an unheard of thing. It's a big thing if you got the money coming in. Jesus. What would be cool to no end is if I get an English subtitle out of it, if it would do a Spanish subtitle for me, French, Italian, German, all the major big time languages that most people speak. Did I mention Spanish?
I think you did. I don't think you mentioned Russian.
Watch out, sweet. Yeah, Russian too. Absolutely. You name it. If it can do that too, oh wow, yeah, that's going to be a huge help. Just spitting out a bunch of little extra files for me to upload with it, that would be awesome because those little text files are not big at all. Really easy to manage subtitles.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Just got a hold of it today, so Can't wait to see. I'm sure it'll take me some time to get to playing with that. But yep, can't wait for it. Oh, another thing, I got it all set up and ready to go. TIE Fighter Total Conversion.
1.3.
Yeah, it just had a update to 1.3.3, like you said. And I didn't pull my joystick out. I was just going to try and use the little PS2 controller, or I'm sorry, PS3 controller that I use for most games, which seemed to work fine. But with that one, it wasn't working to expectations, and I was just feeling lazy about pulling my joystick out, so that sounded like a euphemism, didn't
it? Yeah.
So I hadn't actually got to play it yet. It looks beautiful. I've seen a ton of screenshots. Angel and his team, those guys that are doing that, are just, man, doing a great job. It's amazing, again, how they take that game, that old-ass game, and make it look so beautiful. So I can't wait to try it out. I got it all set up because it wasn't even set up on this new computer yet. I hadn't played it since I got this computer because the laptop has been sitting over there with this little top closed, and I haven't touched it since I got this computer.
Yeah.
So yeah, got X-Wing X-Wing Alliance installed. Got the X-Wing upgrade on there, and then got the TIE Fighter Total Conversion on there. Can't wait, but it's gonna have to, I gotta get my flights in every day. I gotta get at least one flight in. I enjoy flying a lot.
That's cool. Yeah.
And playing the Cyberpunk, but I'm still there's a game. I guess I'm just waiting for Starfield or something. I just got to have something that's not Cyberpunk. It's weird how I keep leaving Cyberpunk to get what I want is Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Everything I want Cyberpunk can do.
Yeah.
But I just want something different. I just want a different mechanic or something, which is why I can't wait for that whole deal to come to fruition in September. The expansion.
I mean, I keep telling myself I'm going to get back to all these games that I've been playing since we've started broadcasting, right? Yeah. But the truth is, once we're done, I'm going to go grab some food, and probably tonight, tomorrow, sometime over the weekend, I'm going to go to the Amazon Prime shop, the GOG page, and Epic, and see what free games are out, right?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Because Epic does have a game that probably would interest you. Maybe.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Online is on there for free.
Really?
Yeah. It's $20 regular. So, and it is it is, you can pay for stuff in there.
Right.
But they do charge for the core game. So you can get the core game for free. Might be something that you might enjoy. I don't know. I went ahead and got it. There's 2 games this week. I forget what the other one is. But, I thought, okay, cool. Maybe it's worth checking out. So might be crap.
I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I figured you would. Epic, man. Dude, anybody who's not keeping an eye on Epic and their free games every week is, you're just letting, whether you think you're going to play it or not, get it. Like, I have built up this library where I'm like, oh, what am I just need something to play. And I go through there and I'm like, damn, look at I keep forgetting the games that I have on Epic that they've given for free, for nothing. And a lot of them have expansions on them too that they'll give out.
Right.
A great many. Like the biggest one so far, well, we got Wolfenstein from there, which was a nice one. We got Death Stranding, which that was a recent one, and that was a real nice pull. That's a fine game.
It is.
Trying to think what else. There's been a couple of the Warhammer games. And if you love the Warhammer stuff, man, they've been giving a lot of those away.
Yeah. I missed Vermintide, I think they put up, right?
Yeah, they did. They had that. Saints Row 4, I think it was 4. I got that one. They've had I wish I could bring up the list. Actually, I've got it. I probably could bring it up. Let me go to my library real quick. Got it on the other computer over here.
Have you gotten back to Dying Light?
No.
No?
I uninstalled it.
That?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. I needed the hard drive space.
Yeah.
So Murder by Numbers is the game that came out with Elder Scrolls Online. and that just kind of looks like a puzzle game with numbers. Train Valley 2 was the week before, which is something I might play. I like trains. Jesus, Pepper, with the poops, man. Tinge Grime was the week before that, and that Dungeon of Naliak. Y'all remember that one.
Right.
There's an Idle Champions, Dungeons and Dragons. Guacamole 1 and 2, or Guacamole 2.
Guacamole.
Yeah, Guacamole, yeah. Payday 2, that was one that looked like it was a game that looked like it was worth getting. Oh, I can't.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I got it, but I never like launched it.
Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't. I haven't touched it. It's one I haven't touched. I just grab them. I get them whether I'm. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't bring this one up. Fallout New Vegas. That's one they gave for free.
Right. Yes.
That's a huge game, man. So I mean, like at least 4 times a year you're going to get a major title. I think it seems that way. Like one big title a quarter.
Yeah.
Midnight Ghost Hunt, Death Stranding, The Sims 4, KO the Kangaroo, Poker Club, Breath Edge. I thought I was going to like that. It's kind of like No Man's Sky. Beyond Blue looks really interesting. You're diving under the ocean and stuff. I did turn it on and got in there one time, but I don't know what it's about. Mordau. I don't know how to say Mordau.
Yeah.
Second Extinction, Dying Light, Shapes.
We can fill up the episode doing this. The point is they put out a ton of good games.
Dishonored.
Yes.
Kerbal Space Program. Mortal Shell. I'm almost done. Evil Dead the game. Squadrons. I said Saints Row 4. I mean, just a lot. They have a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah.
You do yourself a disservice not to get on the Epic. Yes. Let me get back to my notes because I don't know what else.
You got 2 more things. We got Blizzard and Discord.
Oh man, Blizzard, y'all, dude! Did you hear about that shit? The patch for Diablo 4.
This is news to me.
Joel put up something about it, man. I would share the screen. I want to kind of. Oh, I can't share that because I hadn't figured out. He had a video about it, and they put out a patch, and I guess season 1 comes out tonight, as we speak.
Yeah.
Like as we're recording this. And I guess the last couple days they were getting a patch together to have come out right before. I think it came out yesterday or the day before yesterday, this patch. It's patch 1.1. And from what I understand, the video I watched and from what Joel told me, it is absolute shite. I mean, just dog shit. They nerfed. One thing I gleaned from the video, the cooldowns were completely nerfed.
Yeah.
So some of the guys like outfits, what do we call them, or what do you call them when you're a set? Your sets would be completely screwed.
Right. Yeah.
So it's basically, I wish I could tell you more details. Just go out and look for some of these videos. The stuff that they've just completely, it's not the only thing they've nerfed. There's just so much to say that they've broken. And then they turn around and we're having like a dev stream to address it, and they didn't even really address anything. So, and here you have season 1 starting today, and all the momentum's just killed, absolutely killed. Because, you know, I'm sure people are going to still get in there, those diehards. But Jay said that he got in there, and it was just garbage. It was horrible. And to hear him say that's a pretty big deal, man. He's pretty high on Diablo, but not since Immortals left a bad taste in his mouth, and so has 4. He felt preyed on by Immortal. And we saw that early. Yeah.
Speaking of,
what's that?
That was one that I want to say that was on Epic. I picked up Prey. That's one I'm dying to get back to. I think it was on Epic.
Yeah, that was. I think I did. Didn't I list it? I think it was one of the last ones.
I don't know. Maybe you did.
Well, I saw it, and then maybe I didn't say it. But yeah, Prey is on there.
Yeah. Which was a phenomenal game. Just anyway. Sideline, yes. So, anything else on that? Season 1's about to begin. That kind of kills the momentum for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, man. I don't know what else to say. You go out and look at the details of what kind of crap. If you're in Diablo 4 and you play it or you're wanting to play it, you need to go check into this because...
Hasn't the response overall been even light for Diablo, this being 4.
I think people are getting pretty tired of it, and I suspect that Immortal probably. And I said this when we got into Immortal. I'm like, why would we go and play Diablo 4 when we can just play Immortal?
Yeah,
I mean, essentially,
it's Diablo,
it
right?
was pretty much a stupid move for Blizzard. You said they gave the rights up to some other company for that, huh?
I think.
Yeah, that was. And your new game, your AAA game's about to come out the following year. That just didn't seem right at all.
Right.
And we made those observations back then before we had the podcast, so we couldn't tell you about them. But Brian and I did make those observations. That's why we didn't last long.
Right.
He left. I was right behind him. So a little bit of news with the our Discord. You know, I'm always trying to evolve us and grow things and set channels, social media up, and crap like that to get the feelers out there. I got to get us out amongst the public. Let them know who we are.
Right.
And the only reason I even did this is because I just needed a perpetual Discord link. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Woo. But anyway, yeah, you can't have a perpetual Discord link unless you have a community server. So our Discord channel or our Discord server is now a community server.
Gotcha.
So I have started putting on some of my AI art. Yeah, we're a community server. So now we got to like be really good and shit and have moderators and I got a bot. I need to do something with that bot, by the way. I forgot I even did it. I forgot he's there. Oh shit. What was I saying?
Just Discord is now a community server.
Yeah, but I was
because you need a link.
Oh, I was saying I've given the links out to a few of my AI art that I post on Twitter.
Right.
When I put like where to find me in the additional notes, I always put on there, you know, my different Instagram, Facebook, all the places you can mostly find me. And I just started wanting to add Discord because I'm like, man, Discord is great because even though they can mess with you, the people that run Discord,
right.
It's almost like having your own social media if you can just get people to come to you.
Right.
So
yeah.
You have to have some way to get them here, but that's what the other things are for, like Twitter and shit like that. So that's where I'm going with it. I figure let's start making our Discord, our social media with my last Twitter scare and everything. And need to have a place where people can just be. And, you know, I want to be able to have a watch party and not feel like I can't have, you know, like I'm going to get banned or suspended from a service because I had some, you know, copyrighted material
on it.
Even though I'm going to sit there and talk over it like MST3K, you know. Of course, I'm sure they don't want that either. But nonetheless, I mean, I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
I just want to have a good time with some people, hang out and have fun and grow an audience. I wish YouTube would let us do stuff like that, but I get it. You know, whatever.
Well, I mean, here's the big problem that I didn't realize when I first got into streaming, and it's not just with streaming; it's with any kind of a new business opportunity, right? Like crypto, all that stuff. It's this idea that it starts off great, but then the corporate fat cats get a hold of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it all comes apart. YouTube, back in the day, man, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Where else are you gonna find, like, you know, just these crazy kooky people in the middle of wherever doing amazing things or stupid things or whatever? You know, it was I don't know, it was a different beast back in the day.
Yeah, it was a new thing.
Right.
Definitely a different thing.
And yeah, and now to look at it, you know, these people who are just making joke videos or something, they have entire empires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, people see that, they can see the journey and everything, but it's not like you can emulate that journey, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had an empire. I need an empire. Send me all your money. Let's build an empire. Follow me, kids. Join me on Discord. Yeah, I wish I could just say the Discord link name, but it's got stupid letters and shit on it.
Right.
It would be cool if we could have a quicker
That
way
would
for people to join.
that would be a great API, in my opinion, is a link translator.
Yeah. Yeah, just like, where you could just set it to whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, kids, just
I mean,
type in.
you can do that,
douchebag.
like with HTML and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? With your tags and whatnot. But to have something where you can actually just like go to a page and say, okay, here's this link, and then change that.
Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties.
I can tell you're
somehow
you're
got
blurry,
over
guy.
she somehow got over my cable. I didn't know. Oh man. Yeah, I had something I was gonna say, and while you were talking, I was like, I forgot. Am I gonna get it back? And I just did not get it back. I thought it was gonna be really brilliant too.
Content for the next episode.
Yeah, if I actually remember it.
Right.
But yeah, we've gone on long enough for sure. I don't have anything else I could really think of.
I couldn't come up with anything. I've been sitting here thinking for a second.
Well, I had to come at this episode with the, no preparation other than 2 hours right beforehand, man. It's been a hell of a day but that's okay. Earning money, man. Earning money.
Yep.
Pepper, you want to say bye to everybody? Get you unblurry there. Pepper's naked, by the way. She ain't got her clothes on.
Oh no.
Yeah. Say bye-bye, Pepper. Everybody's wondering why you're farting on me. I'm sure they're hoping your stomach feels better soon. But anyway, guys.
For your sake.
Yeah. We thank you all for joining us. And as always, God damn it. As always, God damn
it.
Be excellent to each other. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.